Welcome. My name is Nancy Lang, and I'm going to go through 2 sample projects in order to give you an idea of how to create projects with our Cricut Maker machines. We are using the Cricut Maker 3 for these projects. We'll be looking at using smart vinyl. In this case, it's going to be removable vinyl. Vinyl is often used for making signs and labels. We'll also show an example of how to use the Cricut machine to cut paper, and also we'll be using it with pens to do some writing. I'm going to use the computer screen as a live view. We have a tutorial that does a much better job of showing how to use the design space. In this case, we're going to just kind of go live and see how it works. So the first thing we need to do is to connect the machine. I've already done a design, so we're going to connect to the Maker 3. It's going to find it, and you'll see it up here at the top. Alright, then we're going to click Make It. Now, because we're using smart vinyl, we could do it without a mat, but in this case, we're going to choose on the mat. You can do either way. Smart materials from Cricut are the only things you can use without a mat, mostly. Okay, so now we're going to click to continue. There's our project from Design Space. It's going to show it on one mat. If you look over on the left there, we have a number 1 because there's only one mat for the project. If you had different colors, it would have it on different mats, like a series of mats. But today we're just doing this one mat in one color. And we're not mirroring, that's another thing. Also, it says Basic Cut. Okay, so we're ready to say Next, or I believe Continue. Now, when we continue, it's going to find the maker up there at the top, and then it's going to ask you what materials you need. In this case, the material we're using is right there on the main screen at the popular things. However, if you're cutting something that isn't on that screen, you can go to this little drop down and go look for the kind of material that is what you're cutting. They're also good to kind of scroll down and see all the choices that you might have there, because there's a lot of things that you're able to cut with these machines. So we're going to select Smart Vinyl Removable because that's what we're using today. Alright, next screen shows what tools are needed. We don't need anything in the little clamp A because we're not using a scoring tool or anything like that, and it is asking us to load the fine point blade, which is in the machine. If it's in there, it will make sure, it's going to check and find out if we have the right thing and tell us if we don't. Okay, see how I'm rolling down, like scrolling over it and holding down the vinyl? You want to make sure the vinyl is secured to the mat. Make sure it's touching the little rollers, and the point arrow, either the arrow or the little hole arrow, is in the right place. Also notice the back, I have put some kind of mat there to make sure that it has a smooth path and doesn't get stuck on something behind the machine. So now the machine is ready to start going, and it's got a flashing light. On one machine, the machines before the Maker, that has a little Cricut symbol. This one has a little arrow. So we're going to touch the arrow. It's going to think a second and off it goes. I'm letting it cut, and we are watching how the mat goes forward and back, forward and back. This particular tool does not touch the little gears in the back, so the tool itself, the knife, is not spinning around, it's stationary. And the cutting happens by moving the mat up and down and back, and moving the head up, back and forth. For fun, in a minute, we're going to show how this looks from a different angle, and we're going to listen to what it sounds like, because we took the sound out for this teaching part. Look closely at how it goes up and down. When it's pushing down like that, that's actually cutting. The blade is pushing down into the material to cut it. You can kind of see it, but not really. Alright, so mostly just A isn't doing anything, B is doing all the work. Alright, you'll be able to hear it now. Now, after it has finished doing what it needs to do, you see it's going to go ahead and it's going to kick it out. It stops and now it spits it out. But what I always want to do is grab it like it's ready, so just go get it. No, don't do that. So what you're going to do is push that little exit button thing, and that will release it and allow you to take it out. Now for the fun. Okay, this looks like a red piece of vinyl, but in fact, it did cut into the top layer. So what we're going to do here is take this tool and let's take a look. You can pull the whole thing off the purple mat there, but we're not going to do that this time. We're going to take a little dig into the corner and separate the red from the back white backing. All right, this is called weeding. Weeding is where the craft comes into play, because this is where you have to work to get good at it and you have to gather some skills. Weeding is a little bit of it takes a little learning to learn how to do it well. One thing I'm doing here is cutting away the parts that are in the way. So I'll peel a little bit and cut. Always be very careful when you do this not to cut something that actually is supposed to be there. Now here I'm picking away right around the letter E to get that little piece to come out. There we go. All the inside letter of the letters are staying. Okay, cutting away some vinyl, getting it out of the way. There we go. Using different tools, it can be helpful. This is main Cricut tool is actually quite a useful tool. It's very good at helping you start things and pick things and pull the stuff you need to pull out. Okay, so I'm getting the letters peeled back. Now what's left is the white part that's stuck flat to the mat. We could take it off, but it's kind of nice stuck down like that. It keeps it flat. I'm going to go in there and gently pick out the parts that aren't supposed to be there. You can actually see this better in real life. On the video it's not as easy to show, but you can see the parts that are cut that need to come out. You also need to watch to be careful not to take something out that shouldn't be, or watch where the dots of the eye go or where little bits go like that. So the A actually is skinnier than I thought. And when you do this, you'll be able to see it. So there you go. Okay. As you do this, you'll get better at it and you'll learn tricks. I have watched quite a few videos on YouTube that give you tips. And these tips help me know like little things to do. For example, where are all these bits going? Some people have like this snazzy little container. Other people use some duct tape. You can also use the stuff you just peeled. So see what I'm doing? I'm sticking it out there to get it out of the way. So you end up not having all these little bits everywhere. A place to put it. I'll just put it on that and that'll get thrown away later. Now, I went pretty slowly through this part of the sign because I want you to get a sense of what weeding is like. And I want you to think about this when you design something. What parts are you going to need to pick out? What parts, how detailed is your image? What does this mean on the other end when you have to take the little bits out? We'll have another example of that later, but this sort of shows you think ahead about what you're doing. This actually is not a hard project. So doing text, if you pay attention and don't tear it up, tear off parts that shouldn't, then you'll be okay. Now I'm going to take it off the mat, and you see how curly it is? That's why I left it on the mat when I was working on it. You don't have to, but you can. Okay, the next thing that we're going to work on is going to be putting on transfer tape. You can buy Cricut transfer tape, and you can buy transfer tape with other brands. The Cricut transfer tape is very handy, and others too sometimes, that have these lines on it. And the lines are good for letting you know, like helping you line up and also helping you know where to cut it. In this case, in this sign, I'm not putting it on the way it is printed. I'm going to put it in different parts. So I'm going to put in the top, and then I'm going to put in the other part. So I'm going to do 2 pieces of transfer tape. So now I've marked out where it's going to be cut to. There we go. Cutting, I always go ahead, at some point you'll see, and cut it all the way off flat, so you have little strips. Okay, let's lay it out again. Make sure I've got it covered, see how much. Now, this is not sticky at this point. This is sticky stuff on a white background. Also watch underneath so you don't cut your actual cut your vinyl. Okay, so now the transfer tape is in 2 pieces. You have the shiny part and you have white backing. And see, this is me cutting the roll off straight. Okay, I'm going to speed up this part well, here and there, so that you don't have to watch the whole thing in real time. It actually does take a little more time, but this is just to give you an idea of what you do. Now that's not going to work. I'm going to need another piece, so now we go and look at the other piece. Now, what I wanted you to see is how it peels. Look how this peels apart. Sometimes it's hard to catch the end, but that's it. You have a clear piece and a white piece. Okay, let's put it down. I'm going to hold it down that way, and now we're going to peel it off and put it on with the sticky side onto the vinyl. It's going to stick onto it. To get your head around the concept, we're using this to hold it, and then the vinyl itself is going to be stuck onto whatever surface we're after. In this case, it's going to be a sign, but the point is this is holding it in place to help you line it up. So the lines that are on this clear transfer tape are good to line up nice and neat under the letters, because it can help you make them straight when you're trying to put it on a sign or wherever you're going to put it. And again, I'm cutting this free because I'm going to do this in pieces. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing to the part below, measuring out the more transfer tape. Just doing it fast, 20 times the speed. Yes, you don't work really that fast. Okay, measure cut, here we go. And that's fun. Now, you can save this extra transfer tape to use on projects that you're going to do in the future. But if you want to, if this is a one-time thing and you're not going to, we have a bin inside that you can put scraps in for other people to use. Okay, this is preparing your surface. You should always clean the surface you're going to put the vinyl onto. So clean, in this case it's a dry erase board, and we're going to clean it really good and dry it all up so that it's nice and free of dust when I go to stick it on there. I'm using a ruler, and what I didn't think to do, because it's a dry erase board, I could have drawn a nice neat line and then erased it. That would have been even better. But anyway, so this helps me. You see the little lines in the transfer tape. I've also going to tape it into place so I can kind of line everything up and have it where it's supposed to be. You can do it many different ways. It's going to be what works for you. But in this case, I'm kind of holding it in place so that I'm able to hold this at an angle to show you for video. I decided instead of having it left justified, I want to make it centered. So I cut it in 2 pieces. You can also make it exactly the way you want it and keep it together and not cut it, and then that way it keeps it exactly balanced the way you want it. That's something to do in Design Space. I will talk to you later about how to do that, but it has to do with grouping the project and attaching the project so the words go together. All right, here we go. I think I probably already talked about it in Design Space, but whatever. So you get the sense. I'm going to do one letter, the top one, just to give you a sense of how this works. We're going to peel again off. We're always cutting and peeling in this. And now is a really important time to make sure that if you have dots on your eye, like down there in recording and in progress, those eyes can easily get separated. So you want to make sure they're really attached to the sticky part of the clear. And then you're going to peel this off. At an angle usually works better. And you go very slowly to make sure that everything stays stuck. If it doesn't, you can come in here with your little tool from the Cricut and just rub it down to make it good and stick to it. See here, just like a little bit, make sure it catches. And then once you've got it caught onto the clear, then you can gently pull it at an angle and separate the white part from the sticky transfer tape and the sticky vinyl. Okay, so now that we're little by little, we're going to get it off. We've had it marked, rubbed it in. Then you can line it up, and here's where these lines come in really handy to help you get things straight. All right. When you set it down, you can use your hand to just kind of rub it in, and then you use the tool again, and then you're going to come and pull it now the opposite. So now we want it stuck onto the white surface of the sign, so we'll rub the sticky vinyl onto the surface of the sign. Use the tool. This squeegee tool thing is very useful. Use it all the time. Okay, now we're going to pull this off very gently. Again, best at an angle going down. And this is sticking quite nicely. All right, so now our first word is on. We're going to do the same thing for the rest of the sign, just so you get an idea. You won't have to watch me do the whole thing. So now, when I got the final sign, I'm wishing I had done it a little bit different. It's not as straight as I want and whatever. The good news is this is removable vinyl. So at some point I can put that same contact paper on it and move it. Okay, on to a paper project. This paper project is very detailed unicorn, and I did this on purpose. I wouldn't recommend it being your first project, but I want you to know how you can do projects that are complicated. We are also going to use a mat, and in this case we're going to not just pick cardstock, but cardstock for intricate details, and that's in that drop down. Okay, next, again, we don't need anything in the A slot. We're not making any kind of lines. So now we're just cutting away on paper. It is kind of fun to watch it really fast. No, it does not go that fast in real life. I'll show you real life with sound here in a second at different angles so you can kind of get a fun sense of what it's doing. Here we go. Here's our sound effects. And we're also going to see it going up, down, cutting. If you look carefully, you're able to see what it's doing to the paper underneath. It's hard to see on a video, but it's kind of fun in real life to watch it cut. You see how it goes up and down as the mat is being pulled back and forth in order to cut all the circles and all the little details. I like seeing it, how it works. All right. Now, when it's done, it spits it out. You can see the little unicorn. Again, don't grab it. Use the little arrows to let it come off the rollers so we don't jam it. Okay, now we have our unicorn. This is done on purpose so you can get a sense of weeding. I cut a box around it just so that I could pull this away and just have the square to work with. It depends on what you're doing, but sometimes that's handy to do. But the unicorn itself is cut out. So I'm going to pull away the parts that are outside of the unicorn as well. So we're going to start down here with this lovely tool. And in this video part, you're going to see that me try out different tools, because we have lots of tools. You get to try and see what seems to work the best. Pulling like this, you want to go slowly and carefully and pay attention to what you're doing so that you don't tear like I did up there, but you don't tear the wrong part. In this case, it worked out fine. So now I've got my little unicorn stuck straight onto the mat. No backing on paper, it's just paper. And little by little, I'm going to work on picking out the parts. Although, as I start doing this, I realize maybe I could just take the unicorn away and leave the parts. I tried the little scoop, I tried that, went back to my favorite tool, which is still the main tool, and there you go. So now I can gently release. You're going 20 times the speed. In real life, you will do this quite carefully and very slowly, and you have to really think about what's supposed to be removed and what's supposed to stay. So here you see me try this a little bit, and that actually kind of works. See? Picking it up and then releasing it from. Okay. It works, and then oops, I need to use my tool again to kind of release it gently. You want to be very careful, because this is, again, this is the part that is the actual real crafting. It's also the part that as you do it, you get better and better at. You get more used to it. And watching tutorials on YouTube and on LinkedIn Learning and some of the creative bug ones that we have to offer, they all give you little tips on what tools to use and the best practices for doing different things. It's always good to keep learning. Okay, so we're going to take the unicorn off little by little. Now, you're left with all these little bits and pieces, and the best thing to do is scrape it with that same tool that's so versatile. Scrape those little bits into the trash, unless they're really cute and you want to save them, because some of them are really kind of fun. But in this case, we scraped it off. Okay, I just wanted to give you a sense of a pen tool. So if you look, when you put the pen in, it has a little arrow. Now, I always put the cap on. This is important because you want to not use anything that doesn't have that arrow. These need to be Cricut pens only, not just any old pens. In this case, I've used an outline of a font. You can do it different ways. For the purposes of you being able to see what we're doing, I used a pretty fat pen. In the long run, I actually turned around and did it again with a thinner pen, but I want you to see what's going on. So I made I picked the pen that has a fat, it's a wide pen, not a fine point pen, so you can see it. And here we go with our sound effects, and I'll let you see a little bit what it's doing. So in this case, clamp B isn't doing anything. It's not cutting at all. And what's happening is, see, my pen is starting to go up and down and write and draw. We'll speed it up. Now this is 20 times speed. So that's another thing to think about. When you're doing projects, you need to remember how much time it takes for the machine to actually do the thing you want to do. And when you sign up for time, you have to think of all the different things you're going to need to spend time on, including the time it takes for the machine to actually do the project. You can't actually speed it up 20 times. It's good for watching, but it doesn't really work. Okay, so see how dark that is? That's so that you can see it. This also happens to be a sparkle pen. It's hard to see that, but it is. So I tried it again with a thinner pen, but you got an idea. Now, I'm going to attach my unicorn. I just used a glue stick to do that. You can use all kinds of ways. And for fun, I'm coloring in my little, I did the outline of the font, and now I'm coloring it in with sparkly pen, gel pens, just for fun, to give you an idea. Really, I just wanted you to see what a detailed paper cut you can make, because there are a lot of really fun projects, but you are involving yourself in being able to take them apart and weed all those little pieces. All right, I think the next part is me coloring it in. Yeah, see that, just using the gel pen to color in sparkles. Not my greatest masterpiece, but I wanted you to see how this works and what you can do. There's so very many things you can do when you realize what this machine is capable of. And look at all the detail in that little unicorn. Lots and lots. So you can color with it, you can, oh my goodness, there's so many things that this can do. Now let's take a quick look at, I'm going to show you the finished product. And those are our two products that involve paper and vinyl. There's different kinds of paper, there's different kinds of vinyl. We used removable vinyl, you can use permanent vinyl. There's all kinds of different projects you can do with paper and vinyl. In our next video, we'll talk more about some things you can do with the vinyl that works on shirts. See you then.